Are you listening? This ain't no quiet thing. We're screaming out our lungs. Hey, are you listening? Hey, are you there? Hey, are you listening? Or do you just not care?
Well, hey, are you listening? This is a podcast exploring the past, present, and future of Christian music. My name is Joel. I'm here with my good friend Brandon. We connected over a mutual love of Joan Zeta, but also have pretty different tastes. But we get to experience new stuff from each other and sometimes invite some friends along for the ride. Brandon, how you doing today?
Doing swell.
Swell today.
Yeah.
That's great. I do want to just say thank you because earlier I had to run home and pick up some gear so that we could do this. And you were kind enough to pick up some Bojangles for me. And I felt like that was worth mentioning on air since we're, trying to get a sponsorship from them. So thanks for that.
We also went by our neighborhood Blue Water gas station, which is home of so many products.
Great.
Whatever they sponsor us, we'll just throw in with I loved grabbing an ice cold Gatorade, an ice cold good Kit Kat bar.
Awesome. Well, thanks for the Bojangles, and we'll keep working on that. We'll see how it goes. Hey, today we get to do something fun. I've been kind of waiting for this day to happen, as well as I think you have. We get to cover a band that we both really love. The question is, which one of us loves them more?
I think what the interesting one is track by release by release. Which one likes it more? Because I think with a lot of bands, we'll be like, man, we love this band, but then it's like, well, their first 3 albums were the best, and then it kind of went on. Or I'll be like, well, the 3rd album was actually when they got good.
That's true. So I guess we'll have to see how it goes today and see who is more of a fan of the Smoke EP, which is kind of an interesting choice for us as a first thing to cover by House of Heroes.
Yeah.
Why are we doing this?
I think it's just a little bit different, and I feel sometimes awkward whenever I talk about a release that I just absolutely love, and I think it kind of is boring, whereas I feel like people actually are like, no, Brandon, we'd like for you to say good things about our album we love. But I think that sometimes out releases are interesting because of the story behind it. And this was an interesting time because this was when they had just left Goatee Records and before they signed with Bad Christian. So this was an EP just made up of who are we going to be? Let's just go in and record. So I mean, this was a music that was created at a time where, I don't know, but there was a 15-year run of someone being the person in charge or kind of giving an okay, and this was just the band, saying, yep, this is good, let's release this.
Yeah, so we'll talk a little bit about kind of where this falls in the category and where it falls in their discography and stuff like that. It's not the only EP that House of Heroes has released. So there are other ones that we could cover too. But I agree with you. I feel like this one's kind of falls at an interesting point in their discography. So looking forward to getting into that in just a minute. But before we do that, let's check the mail.
Check the mail. Check the mail. Who, what, when, how, why? Check the mail.
So this one comes from my mom, who was saying that whenever she listens to this, she is always blown away by how much music we're listening to, how many different artists that we know, and how we're finding this stuff whenever it comes out. So she was wondering how do we keep up with that? How do we discover good new music? And I thought it was a really cool thing because I think she was unaware that a lot of the people we bring up are stuff that we're just discovering, or that you know the band, but I'm not familiar with them. And I think that a lot of it is like discovering it. I know for me, it's kind of a mixture. I think you hit at a lot of different points. Like I don't have the one place I go to, but like, you know, I learn it from you. I learn it from, I can't speak to like Apple Music because I don't know how their algorithm does, but I know Spotify does a really good job of suggesting songs. Like they try to figure out, and I think a lot of times Spotify is really confused as to why. It's like, well, you listen to this Mute Without You song 10 times, then you listen to like dog noises for an hour. What is going on? But yeah, I think those, but then also, like every week I check JesusFreakHideout.com to see what stuff's being released. And I think too, whenever you find a record label that you really enjoy. So like at this point, Velvet Blue, like if something comes out on Velvet Blue, I'm going to check it out because that's a label that they let artists have freedom to create. And I mean, not everything that I've heard off the label, like that I think is like was amazing, you know, or whatever, or that I fell in love with. But I think that's when you're just searching out there, like not every new thing's going to be amazing, but you end up coming across like amazing artists, you know, doing that. So how about for you, Joel?
Yeah, I've got my ways. I feel like for you though too, Brandon, a lot of bands that you've really gotten into lately have been bands that you've seen as like opening acts at shows.
That's true. Yeah.
That like you weren't aware of them before, but you got to see them live and you kind of got pulled in that way. That's that's like isn't that how you found Gable Price?
Yeah,
and
Gable Price. It was
Friends?
we were going to a festival with Switchfoot and was like, oh, let's check out this band.
Yeah.
And them, Last Bison. I mean, kind of the same way with like Sanctus Real. Like years ago, we went to like Winter Jam, and they were one of the little 30-minute acts instead of the 45-minute or hour act or whatever.
That's cool. Yeah, I think for me, it's kind of a tough question, but I have Apple Music every Friday gives me what's called the new music mix. And so it's new stuff that's coming out that it thinks I'm going to like. And it's like a playlist. And so I'll go through and check out those songs and see if they're songs that I'm into or not. And if so, then I'll kind of dig around. So I think that's like a way. But I do just feel like relationships are a key component in that. Like even stuff that I've like heard from you that I've decided to get into, or what we've heard from other people who've come on the podcast. I feel like it's been helpful. The record label thing for me has been a huge one in the past. Like there was a day and time where if something came out on Tooth and Nail Records, I'm going to listen to it and probably even just buy it. Yeah. And that was true for 5 Minute Walk Records too at the time. Like I'm buying anything that comes out on 5 Minute Walk. And I did. I bought everything, I think, that came out there. And so, yeah, Velvet Blue, I'm definitely going to check out anything that comes out on Velvet Blue. Too, if I'm going to like a music festival, most music festivals now, people will put out a playlist of like songs by bands that are playing at festivals, so you can like check out all the bands ahead of time. And that's been a fun way to like discover new artists that I wouldn't have known before. And so, yeah, I kind of feel like it's like a hodgepodge of ways that I kind of discover stuff. But I'll honestly still to this day, I'm probably going to, if Tooth and Nail puts something out, I'm probably going to at least go give it a listen and see if it's something that I like. And I think that's how I found John Van Dusen. Was I was like, oh, this new music by Tooth and Nail, let me go see what's going on with it. And I got sucked into it. And so, yeah. I think that's the thing. And then collaborations between artists or playing concerts together or whatever it may be, I think are big things for me too. So that is a fun question to kind of dig into. Yeah, I like it. All right. Well, let's talk about what we've been listening to lately. Brandon, what's something that's been tickling your ears?
One of probably the top thing we're listening to is Talking Like Friends by Gable Price and Friends. And it's very piano driven, which I feel like the newer stuff, a lot of it wasn't. But going back and listening to their first album, there was more of that. So It's been cool. I don't know if they're planning on doing a full release or not, because they've been doing a lot of just singles recently. So I don't know if that's gearing towards a full-length album or not. But it's been cool because it just feels like it's a blend of like their older stuff and then also Jungle in the City, which was a departure from them. Which it's always fun whenever you're like, I love this music. And then you start listening and going, oh, this was not the band the whole time. So now you're like, I really hope I don't. It's like Star Wars. If someone was like, man, I'm going to get into Star Wars now, you have to be like, well, there's these ones that were released like in the 70s. And then here's the like 2000s. And then there's Disney. So you're running the risk of being like, you might love all of them. Or you might be like, I love this segment of 3, and then everything else I don't care for.
Yeah.
Like, just really love that Jar Jar guy. And
It's not the first time you've mentioned him on the podcast, Brandon.
I think I'm just trying to get a deal, like a sponsorship from Jar Jar. So if he's
specifically not
listening
Star Wars,
out there,
but Jar Jar.
I just feel like it's maybe easier for Disney to let us play with that. What do you call it? Like that property. Star Wars are probably not going to let us go, but I think Jar Jar, they'd let us have a little bit of room to maybe test the waters. So, Bojangles, Blue Water, Disney. I think Disney could make a ride where it could be the, hey, are you, I don't know, listening? Hey, are you magical? I don't know.
They should have turned the Rock and Roller Coaster into that instead of the
just
Muppets,
us talking,
I guess.
not even us, not even music playing, just us talking about music.
Sounds like such a nightmare. Why does anybody listen to this show?
It only took us a year for that to come up. Why are you listening?
Hey, not hey, are you listening?
Yeah.
Why are you listening?
Hey, why are you listening?
Why are we even doing
The
this?
best part too, just for everyone listening at home, that was not a bit that was came up beforehand. That literally was just all I have written down is Gable Price and friends talking like friends. And here we go with Jar Jar sponsoring our podcast.
Rabbit trails. All right. For me, I mentioned this like 2 weeks ago. John Van Dusen is dropping singles from As Long As I Am in the Tent of This Body Will Make a Joyful Noise Part 2. And he's got a new one out called No One Else But You featuring Taylor Armstrong. And it's a great track. You should go check it out, along with all the other 3 that he's released. So he's got 4 singles dropped now from that record.
Joel, I think a problem I run into is whenever you mention him and I want to go listen to him, I feel as though I've got to have time to like have everything away from me and to sit down and like soak in the music. Do you think that I'm correct in that? Or do you think it's something that really just going to work, you're like, no man, if you got 20 minutes, just turn on and listen to 4 tracks? Or do you think that you need to take time to enjoy it?
That's an interesting question. I will say that I feel like this record that he's putting out now is a little more like accessible
Okay.
than some of his previous stuff, to where I feel like there's a really good chance this stuff will get a ton of play on the radio. I think it's super catchy, and I think people will just kind of initially grab onto it. I think if I had to recommend one of those songs for you just to pop on in the radio when you're driving, it'd probably be Joyful Noise, featuring Citizens. It's super catchy. I think you would dig it. So, but I would say, I think you can pop it on. I think there's also layers. And so there might be I think the songs are super enjoyable just listening to them, but I also think if you listen to them intently with headphones, you're going to discover a lot more that's there. So,
Okay.
yeah. Yep. Good stuff for sure. All right. So let's play a game.
Let's play, let's play. It's time to play a game. Let's play, it's time to play a game.
So Joel, in the spirit of discussing House of Heroes, I was trying to come up with a game and I could not come up with anything. And so what we're going to do is I'm going to give you the kind of some trivia from 2014 when this came out from the Dove Awards. But before we do that, I want to read some of these that I turned to ChatGPT thinking maybe it could help me flush out some ideas. And what it came up with was it had this scenario where it was the superheroes teaming up with bands, which I wanted. But the way that it took these, I had to contain my laughter because it was just so absurd even for this. So I want to read a few of those to you.
Okay.
Captain America asked Casting Crowns to redesign his shield. I was like, that's not. I don't know. The Avengers hire Mercy Me to boost team morale after every battle.
ChatGPT needs like a better knowledge of Christian. I mean, it's pulling from the really low hanging fruit.
The Justice League hires 10th Avenue North to navigate every mission. Just the Mercy meme one just kept getting me because I just imagine like they've just like three of their friends have just gotten killed by like some bad guy, and it's just Bart Miller be like, "Hey, buddy, like it's it's okay." Batman hires Building 429 to redesign his Batcave. Hulk joins Disciple as their security guard. I think out of all of them, that's one that feasible.
Right.
Green Lantern creates a giant glowing stage for Casting Crowns using his power ring. I don't understand.
I bet your ChatGPT is such an interesting world, Brandon.
It tries to understand who I am, but it just gets so confused. I'll ask a question. I'll be like, is this for church or is this for the senior center? Or what? Who is this for? So yeah, what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you just a couple of the award categories on here.
Okay.
And you just tell me which one you think was the winner.
2014 is going to be a little bit of a struggle for me, but I'm going to do my best.
Inspirational film, Grace Unplugged, When Calls the Heart, Heaven is for Real, Son of God, or God's Not Dead.
When Calls the Heart, is it talking about the TV show?
It just says inspirational film, and it says When Calls the Heart.
Because we watched that with our kids when they were little. It's got to be God's Not Dead.
It's God's Not Dead.
Yeah.
You really went on a long limb with that one. Short form music video. Your nominees are Shake by Mercy Me, Love Does by Brandon Heath, Speak Life, Toby Mac, Love is Stronger, Jason Crabb, Never Gone, Colton Dixon, Overcomer, Mandiza.
What was the first one?
Shake by Mercy Me.
Yeah, let's go with that.
You're correct. Shake by Mercy Me.
All that I have to do with this is pick the most popular one, and that's pretty much the one that always wins out, which proves that this is a bad award show.
All right, here's a tough one for you. Rock contemporary recorded song. Is it Never Gone by Colton Dixon, Multiplied, Need to Breathe, Let It Be Love, Family Force 5, Don't Deserve You, Plum, Love Alone is Worth the Fight, Switchfoot?
I only know one of those songs.
Family Force 5?
No. Switchfoot. I don't know. I'm just because, Switchfoot.
Switchfoot is the winner.
Nice. I'm like 4 for 4, right?
Next up, rock contemporary album. Is it I Am Mountain by Gunger, Inland by Jars of Clay, Everfound by Everfound, Fading West by Switchfoot, or Rivers in the Wasteland, Need to Breathe?
I'm going to go with Fading West.
By Switchfoot?
Yeah.
You're correct.
Yeah. That Gunger record's really good.
The Rivers in the Wasteland by
does.
Need to Breathe is really good.
Yeah.
Here's a couple of more. Recorded music packaging. Your nominees are The Extremist by Demon Hunter, Brave, Sean McDonald, Collapsible Lung, Reliant K, Kingdom Come, Brian and Katie Torwalt, or The Water in the Blood by Dustin Kinsrew.
Collapsible Lung.
And the winner is The Extremist, Demon Hunter.
Yeah, I would have never.
You kind of think with the Dove Awards that
Yeah.
there was someone in the room that was like, hold on a second. Like, there's just something about this that's throwing me off right here. Let's see.
One more.
One more. You go country recorded song.
No.
Man. There's just so many categories. Like, I feel like it's weird because it's just like the best person with B in their name.
Let's do Album of the Year.
Album of the year?
Yeah. Not Record of the Year. Album of the Year.
I gotta see if I can find that because I've got Artist of the Year, New Artist, Bluegrass, Christmas Album. I don't know if they have Album of the Year on here.
We can do Artist of the Year.
All right. Artist of the Year. Is it Hillsong United, Need to Breathe, Switchfoot, Casting Crowns, Lecrae, or Showbread?
Showbread got nominated for.
Is Van Diesel?
I was about to say, what in the world?
I just love it. They get nominated for nothing else, but Dove's like, oh, listen.
My mind was about to be blown. Wait, I had this in my head, and that just made me forget who I was thinking of.
Hillsong United, Need to Breathe, Switchfoot, Casting Crowns, Lecrae, or Mendiza.
It's probably Casting Crowns.
And the winner is Hillsong United.
Yeah, that makes sense, too. The worship thing was starting to happen pretty significantly at that point.
You know what, though, Joel? I think that this should make you happy that Switchfoot, they won the second most awards on this one.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That's great. Thankful for that. All right, Brandon, thank you for that. So let's get into what we're talking about today. So we are covering the Smoke EP by House of Heroes. And so this was released on August 19th, 2014. It's their first independent project after departing Goatee Records. I'm giving the band complete creative control over every aspect of the recording process. Produced by Tim Skipper and Colin Rigsby, the EP was recorded in a more intimate, self-directed environment than their previous studio albums, trading polished major label production for a raw guitar-driven sound that recalls the band's early work. Thick analog-inspired guitar tones, punchy live drums, layered vocal harmonies, and a restrained use of studio effects create an organic feel while still retaining the band's signature cinematic arrangements. And so tracks like Bottle Rocket, The Worst Kind of Gods, Wake Up Screaming showcase House of Heroes' gift for combining infectious melodies with vivid storytelling. Though only 6 songs long, Smoke serves as both a creative reset and a proof of concept, demonstrating that the band could flourish independently while paving the way for the ambitious concept album Colors 2 years later. All right, so let's kind of lay out where this falls in House of Heroes discography. Mm-hmm. And so we've got, although I have like the album that came out before, The End Is Not the End, like my like real listening and enjoyment of House of Heroes kind of begins with The End Is Not the End. Mm-hmm. And then I love Suburba. And after Suburba came
Cold Hard Want.
Cold Hard Want, right? Yep. Good record. And so that was their last release with Goatee, Cold Hard Want.
Yeah. I think they might have done a Christmas song that came out, but I think it was either that. I mean, Cold for all purposes, Cold Hard Want was the last album. So,
and so here we are, kind of in a no man's land for them, but still existing as a band. And they record this EP, and so they had a Kickstarter campaign. And as part of the I think they were kickstarting the Colors record that was coming out, but this Smoke EP was something that was like a carryover for them, where basically it was something like, hey, if you pre-order colors, then we'll drop this like EP that we're doing to you as like a thank you or something. Do you remember any of that?
I think I thought they were two different things, but maybe I'm remembering different. Because they were on, I think it was Indiegogo for.
Yeah, that makes sense, actually. Is that website still around? It is.
Yes.
We're going to figure this out live on the air because I crowdfunded this. Oh, man. Now it wants me to come up with a security code.
I'm already in it.
Well, you can give us the answer.
So the EPs were 50,000 will do a Christmas EP, 55 will do an acoustic EP, and 60,000 will be a punk rock. So I think Smoke was a proof of concept for crowdfunding,
Okay.
and then Colors came out afterwards.
So they basically tested out crowdfunding on Smoke?
Yeah, because I remember an interview with, I want to say it was Tim Skipper, that he was just like, I think that crowdfunding is a really big waste of time, and that's you like it's disrespectful to your fans because it's like you're asking them for money and they, you know, like you shouldn't be doing that. Which I always thought the opposite. Like I love getting to, like I feel ownership with it.
Yeah.
And I feel like it makes me upset that I feel like now that I have a little bit of disposable income, that people are not doing these things. Because it's like, at the time, I was like, I don't know, I've got $10 to give you. But now it's like, yes, House of Heroes, I'll help fund your new album if you send me a t-shirt for $40.
Man, they just fell short of that punk rock EP. That would have been fun.
Do you think maybe we can get Tim Skipper on the phone and say, hey, man, how much for that? Joel, I have Joel's credit card right here, live on the air.
You know, here's the frustrating thing for me is that they, the first stretch goal for this campaign was the end is not the end on vinyl. Mm-hmm. And they met it, and they were offering it. They said they were going to offer it at a discounted price to all contributors. I don't think that ever happened. Because I was waiting on it.
Yeah.
And I funded this thing. I got Colors on vinyl out of it, but yeah, I was never able to get The End Is Not the End on vinyl. Such a bummer.
I'm trying to find on here how much for them to come to our town to see how much we'd have to pay them now.
Well, anyways, yeah, so it's kind of interesting. So there were EPs that were a part of this, but maybe not this one. I don't know where they crowdfunded Smoke, but if that's the case. But yeah, this is falls in an interesting place for them because they were probably trying to find their footing again in a lot of ways. So certainly kind of just falls at a fascinating place. And so, yeah, I guess we can talk a little bit about like how House of Heroes kind of came across our path and then maybe where this EP falls for us in listening to them. So what about you first?
Yeah, I discovered them through Goatee Records used to do like free EP downloads because back in the day we didn't have Spotify and Apple Music. We had to pay for our music.
That's right.
We had to pay for them to send us our digital music. Which I don't think I've ever shared this story. One of my biggest jumps into music was as a kid not having money to buy stuff. But Pepsi did a thing where you could get codes off of their bottles.
I remember
and you
that.
could cash them in on Amazon. And
Yeah.
I bought like at least 50 songs off of there.
I remember that. Yeah.
So that introduced it. But yeah, I got into them as Suburba was being released, but The End Is Not the End is what really caught my attention just because I felt like there were so many people that would go write songs about like a breakup or write songs, but I'm like, these guys are writing songs about like World War II. Like this is cool. And even Suburba was like, man, this is like this idea of like suburban America, like all these different stories happening and all. And I felt Cold Hard Want, like some people have said that, oh, it's a concept album about like just like the American dream or whatever. But I felt like for me, I feel like it wasn't as much of a concept as the other two.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, that was kind of just my jump into them, as I just like, I fell in love with them. And I think ever since 2009, like they've been consistently one of my top 5 bands of all time.
Yeah.
Like
I was a student pastor, and one of my students, a guy named Sean, went to go see Reliant K play live somewhere. I don't remember where he went, but he went to go see them live, and he got back, and I was like, dude, how was Reliant K? Like, how was the show? And he was like, they were fine. There was this band there that opened up for them called House of Heroes. They were incredible. And I was like, okay. And he's like, you got to check out their album, The End Is Not the End. It's like the best thing ever. And so I took the recommendation and went. And I honestly think at that point, like the first thing that my first exposure to it was I looked it up online and I found the video to what's it called?
In the Valley of the Dying
In the Valley
Sun.
of the Dying Sun. And I was like, what in the world is this music? Like, this sounds like Queen. This sounds like everything I love in music.
Yeah.
And plus the video is cool. And so, man, I was bought in. I went and got the record, and not the record. I got the CD, and just fell in love with it, the whole thing. And was super into that. And then Suburba was coming out, and so I was pumped, and so I pre-ordered it. I got the vinyl. Was really excited for Suburba and love Suburba a ton. I still love that record a lot too. And then Cold Hard Want, got the vinyl. And then, I mean, you name it. Then we're just down the road.
Yeah.
I'm just like a fan of kind of everything. And I don't remember, like, I don't remember how the Smoke EP. I guess I just probably bought it on iTunes or something. I'm not really sure, but I'll be honest. Like, I didn't listen to it as much back then when it came out for whatever reason, and maybe I'm not exactly sure why, but I think probably I wasn't as hot on Cold Hard Want as I was on some of the previous stuff, and so. Maybe I just didn't give it as much of a like effort, and so I didn't replay it a lot. So even going back into this, it was kind of a little bit like listening to it for the first time for me, which was really fun. It's like, oh, here's a new House of Heroes EP, and I'm like, sweet. So I really enjoyed jumping into this for that reason. And I'll be honest, like, I haven't listened to Cold Hard Want in a long time. I haven't listened to Colors in a long time. So a lot of their later stuff I haven't spent as much time listening to, even though I still listen to The End Is Not the End and Suburba a ton. But it makes me want to go back and
I think
listen to later stuff.
I think it's interesting that I feel like sometimes Goatee gets a bad rap for like stifling creativity and all. And I don't want to speak for Tim or I don't want to call it any artist, because I'd feel really awkward if I sat there and said, like, they're wrong. And then artist came on here and was like, hey, I remember when you said that. And I'd be like, oh, no. But I think that, like, with all that said, it was cool that, I don't know how the pitch came to Goatee Records for this, but this seems like an album that would have been really easy to say, all right, guys, go back and think again, because why are we doing this? So I think props to Goatee Records for letting like The End Is Not the End out there.
Yeah.
Because I think Cold Hard Want is an easy sell. I think even Suburba is kind of like, okay, we're telling the story about suburban America. But I think it's cool that Goatee gave all the resources behind that, which I know we're not talking about like The End Is Not the End, but I just think it's interesting that you sometimes go back, and I think sometimes you get, I don't know, like some record labels get like a really bad rap, or I remember recently we were talking to a friend and they made a comment about like, yeah, some of these labels, they get all this, people are like, oh, it's so good, it's so good. But then as an artist on the other side, it was like, well, it wasn't,
Yeah.
it wasn't that easy to work with, or, they sold the rights to all of our album, or whatever
Yeah.
the case. So I just think that's cool. And I think for me, it was really interesting because whenever they left, it's like, I've only known them as the Goatee Band. Like, because even their other one was on Mono versus Stereo, but that's like a sister label to Goatee. So it's not like here's your own thing out there.
Yeah.
So I feel like when you get so used to having all of these resources and all, it can kind of be a weird place that you try to reinvent yourself and it doesn't work out.
Yeah.
Or you put out the same stuff and people are like, okay, so I paid $6 for what I already had. So yeah, I think this, going back, that I feel like this is not my favorite like House of Heroes release, but I think it's just so interesting to dive into and get discussed. And yeah,
That's cool. Well, let's kind of give our thoughts. We'll jump into this track by track. We got 6 songs to get through. I'll be honest, like jumping into it, I'm like, this is good. Like, it's just good.
it'd have been really awkward if you would have said, this is just terrible. And I'd be like, oh man, this is
It was so like, it was just really refreshing for me to listen to. And it just reminds me how much I love this band. But track 1 is Bottle Rocket. So Brandon, tell me what you think about Bottle Rocket.
Yeah, I think it's such a good opener. I think it's something that whenever I'm sitting there thinking, okay, where are they going to go? I don't want to lose my favorite band. I feel like within the first 40 seconds, you have it like, oh, no, they're still the same band.
Yeah.
And I still love this one. And it's just such a I think House of Heroes, there's a few bands in this category, but I think that they're just so hard to describe. And honestly, even writing down reviews, a lot of these things was just like, wow. Or it's like, I feel like these are the shortest things I've written for songs just because I'm like, I don't know. Like, you can't just say it's amazing and move on, because then like I would get annoyed if someone just said, I don't know, it's just a good burger.
Yeah.
But it's just like, man, it's just so cool. And then the group vocals, I think House of Heroes has always shined with group vocals. And I think on this track, they're presented really, really well on there.
Yeah, they stand out for sure. Yeah, I'm a little bit like you, Brandon. My notes aren't that helpful, but they're just like, literally the first thing I wrote for this was, come on, Tim Skipper. Like, it's just like,
It's a t-shirt right there.
his vocals are so good. Like, he's just such an incredible singer, and his melodies. And then I wrote, how is this chorus so good? And then I wrote, this band is so good. Like, that's like not exciting to listen to, but I don't know how to like describe like how good that the band is, but how great of a songwriter he is. And I feel like on a song like this, it just all hits and it all works so well. And, like from start to finish, like I love the vibe of the song. The ending is killer. Like it's just an incredible opener.
Yeah.
And I think that like most bands would give their right arm to be able to write a song like this and record it. And it's such a good tune.
Yeah. Next we move on to Worst Kind of Gods. How do you feel about this track, Joel?
Yeah. Great again. I love the rhythm of the song. I wrote down like, I mean, you can't ignore the fact that House of Heroes is like a pop band. Like, and I don't mean that they make pop music necessarily, but the melodies are so good and catchy that like I can play this for anybody and they would enjoy House of Heroes, just because they're like good classic melodies and like this is pop music, even though it may not be like pop. And so, but I wrote down like their technicality for a pop band is so great that they do things like really intricate details and things all throughout their music, but it never cripples the ability to write just a super catchy song. And they have this like magic ability to like make something complex, but also just make it really catchy at the same time. And that's a really hard thing for a band to be able to do. I love the idea of this song a lot. Like the lyrics, "We are the worst kind of gods, slave to a selfish heart that always wants." And this idea of making ourselves an idol and lifting ourselves up. I just feel like it's such a good just theme for a song, an idea. There's a great jam at the end. You've got the like Queen group vocals again happening, and it's a great tune.
Yeah, I really like the like monologue at the end.
Yeah,
I love that it's like it's blended together, so it's not like on this like forefront. And I think it's just a cool kind of effect that it's like built into the music. This one, like, so what is interesting is I feel like this is, for me, a different style of House of Heroes. And I remember even when I first heard it, the like, hey, like that was just kind of like, oh, this doesn't feel like House of Heroes. And so I feel like it's definitely grown on me since it came out. But I think that's the only. I feel like with a band like this, you start like nitpicking, and so I feel like that's the thing where it's like, I wish you didn't say, "Hey, I love the other 3 minutes and 20 seconds of this, but there's that 2 seconds that he does that one thing," and I'm just like, "Oh, Tim, let me tell you how to do music."
that's interesting. Yeah. No, I thought that one was really cool. What about "Wake Up Screaming" track 3?
I really like this one. There's like so much emotion built into it. And so back in the day, I spent maybe more time than anyone else other than like my friend Miranda, like just researching who House of Heroes was. We actually had Tim and Stephanie come play at our church. And it was funny because I tried not to be that fan, but there may have been a time where I sat there and said, Tim, 4 years ago, you made a comment about worship music in this interview. Do you still hold to that? And he was like, I don't think I do. And I was just like, I think even like Guns or something, I made a comment. I was like, hey, so what's your feelings about Guns? Because I remember in 2005, you made this comment. I mean, this is like 9 years later. And he's like, no, I don't think I feel the same way. I don't know why I said that. And I was just like, maybe I should stop being like, hey, Tim, I have this quote from 9 years ago. Do you want to confirm, or have you changed? So like, I don't know if they're a band that does like lyrics before music or music before lyrics or whatever. But I just feel like they do such a good job of it.
Yeah.
Like it feels as though this was created together. Like it doesn't feel like it's I need to get this message out, or we came up with this really good hook, like can you come up with some words for it? It just feels like the lyrics and the music just fit so naturally on tracks.
Yeah. This is a good one. This one has like a U2 vibe. So if you like the song, Brandon, you should go check out U2. You might dig them a lot. But I love the drums at the beginning. They're really cool, and there's a really great build on the bridge that was super fun to listen to. The background vocals are awesome. Yeah, it's a good song. It's great.
Next, we move into Fire Only We Know. Joel, how do you feel about this track?
This one was like a different vibe for sure from the rest. And it started out with like a drum machine, which I don't know if I'd ever heard from them. Maybe I have, but it didn't like it. Just this one felt different, like a lot chiller, but like I don't know how to describe it. Like I love the like feel and the ambiance of it. The harmonies are cool. They add like this chorus on the guitar on the second verse, which is like a cool thing. This is obviously where they get the like Smoke EP like title from, is from this song. There's like the the guitar solo is awesome. I think he's like using an EBow to play that, which is pretty creative and interesting because that's kind of a hard thing to do. And I love like the kind of classic fade out of the song, which is not a normal House of Heroes movie either. So this one is like a different kind of song for them. But man, I felt like they attacked it really well.
Yeah. A really cool fun fact is this is actually featured on the soundtrack to the documentary Unforgettable: A Look at Somerville Speedway.
Oh. I wonder how that happened.
Yeah, I think that the guy
Did the
who wrote
filmmaker
it,
have the rights to that?
I think the filmmaker years ago, like I said, Tim and Stephanie came and played at our church.
Yeah.
And I thought it was the coolest thing in the world that I had Tim's number. I feel like if you told me you had to delete every number except for his, before you finish the sentence, I would have it deleted.
He's probably already changed his phone number, Brandon.
I think so, because I sent a message about a year ago and I didn't hear back. So it's just some random person out there just being like, who is texting me about this? Yeah, like we reached out to him and I was just like, hey man. What was funny is that for all of Tim's musical abilities, like I feel like him responding to text messages is not a strong suit. And I remember being like, I really want to use this song, but I'm not going to use it unless I have like permission, because I don't want someone to like take this down. And I remember like the day before we were going to like fully release it, he texted, he's like, oh, cool, dude, that's so cool. Yeah, man, do that. And I'm like, thank you.
That's awesome. Congratulations.
Yeah. And so this song, I feel like I just wrote down, it feels like you're driving through your hometown at night.
Yeah. That's a good feel.
It paints, like if you close your eyes, it just, I feel like, I mean, they grew up in Ohio, so it's not like they know what rural South Carolina feels like, but just hearing this, I feel like it just paints such a picture of like your hometown, and it's just such a testament to the band how you can paint a picture with that and make you care. And I mean, like, I think that this is a song that like still like it makes me like emotional when I can hear it, because it takes me back to like, oh man, there's like a line in it where he says like, how far a fall it is from the window to the ground. And it just makes me think about like, if we visited your hometown right now, there's so much stuff that you could say, oh yeah, this or that, but it's going to be like the little things where we're driving around and you're like, that's where I like learned to drive a bicycle.
Yeah.
Or you're going to be like, oh man, that's where I had my first kiss. Or like, oh man, I remember when it's just all these little things that like, it's not documented or whatever. It's just a street corner, but you're going to be like, this is where like a part of my life happened or whatever.
Yeah.
So I think it just does. I don't know, the music, like haunting's not the right word, but I feel like it's just very much like this like calmness. So I think whenever it does pick up, like it's not just static, it's like this calmness, and it feels like if someone's telling you a story about it, where it's like it's this calmness, but like there's moments where you're gonna sit there and just start like laughing and being like, hold on a second, like I gotta tell you, or like in your mind you're gonna start revisiting. So yeah, I really have nothing to say about the guitar or whatever. I just feel like it just paints a picture, and it's like, I don't know. I feel like you can tell some people like, here's this guitar thing, and they get what you're saying. But I feel like when you have to listen to it to get the feeling of, oh yeah, this, I feel like I'm transported, whether it's, Ohio or South Carolina or Mississippi or wherever. So
that's cool. Yeah, I love that. And I think that's exactly right. So track 5 is Satisfied. Brandon, what do you think about Satisfied?
I really like the chorus on this song. I think it's another one that like the verses, like it just doesn't feel House of Heroes-esque. But I think it goes back to this EP was a chance for them to be like, we want to make our own thing.
Yeah.
And I think that there's a band, when you build like trust with the audience, like you understand where they're going with it. And like I think I mentioned it on our Welcome to Diverse City thing, that I'm like, the thing with Toby is that he's built up so much trust where like when he releases something, it's not me going like, oh, did he sell out because he's being more radio friendly? It's me being like, no, he released this because in the past like 5 years he's lost his son and his best friend.
Yeah.
And this is what he's feeling. It's not like, oh, how can I make money? Because it's like he can make money talking about this or that. If you're doing 8 tracks about this one topic, probably not the wisest thing or whatever. But so it's something that I enjoy, and I think it kind of like the Fire Only We Know. I think that when you balance that, it actually does make like the chorus better, and like the pre-chorus or right before it, better. Because like if it was all on the same thing, then it's just like we're through. But it's like when you have this like verse that's like then dun 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 dun, like it has a build. So I feel like going through it and listening, like I appreciate it more because it's like, oh, they do know what they're doing. I don't need to step in and be like, hey guys, like if I was at the studio, this EP would be so much worse. I'm like, guys.
It's true. It's true, Brandon.
come over here, buddy.
I would just like to go on the record and say you don't need to step in and tell them what to do.
Yeah, if any young bands are out there and they're wanting to consult me to be a producer, like I'm just gonna go ahead and decline. So sorry.
There might be some bands where your voice would be helpful, but I don't know that they necessarily.
If people need to sell merch, or if they listen, if you're a band out there and you got a garage full of merch and you're like, I don't know what to do with this, I'm the guy for you. I'd love to have all of your old t-shirts at my house. But producing your album,
all
it's
of
not
them,
me.
You want to buy like 100?
Oh no, I'm not buying. They're giving them to me.
Oh,
let me clear. I'm not the guy to buy your stuff from you.
I don't think that's that helpful, Brandon.
I know. I will say this. I made that same statement yesterday where I was like, oh, you need those things off your hand? And I got someone to give me 300 hats for free. So Just saying.
Where did you get 300 hats for free?
I just made a comment to a guy that I was like, oh man, how did you get that connection? And he was like, oh yeah, I called this guy and man, these things are just taking up my office. And I was like, well, I could use those. I was like, man, I'll take them off your hands. And he was like, really, you would? And I was like, yeah, man, that's what friends are for. And I called my boss and say, look, I just got 300 hats donated to the senior center. So
awesome. Back to Satisfied. I like the theme of this song a lot. Like just being able to like see yourself clearly for who you are. I think was cool. There's like on the second half of the chorus, there's like a synth bass kind of feeling thing that happens that it's like do 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 do. That reminds me of like In the Valley of the Dying Sun, the bass line that's on there that's kind of groovy. So it kind of took me back to that, which was kind of fun. There's like rising vocals on this one, which man, anytime they do that, there aren't a lot of bands out there that I consider to be like epic bands, but House of Heroes falls in the category of an epic band. Like Tim can just do what a lot of singers and a lot of songwriters can't do. And like taking a song from feeling like it should be played in a club to it needs to be played in like a stadium. And like he has that ability, even though they're not a stadium band, like their songs are that big. And I love that a lot. And I like the vibe of the bridge a lot. I think this is a good tune. Yeah.
And we close with Infinite. What were your thoughts on this track, Joel?
Yeah, this is cool. This felt like kind of classic House of Heroes to me. There's some interesting like guitar layers that are happening on this one. The chorus is huge, which is good. I feel like it fits really well as an ending song. And I like the way that the instruments are like kind of slowly dropping out as it ends. So I thought it was kind of a cool ending, and it fit well as like the last track of the record to have it that way, because you could like feel that happening live, just like a band member leaving the stage, kind of like one at a time.
Yeah.
And it felt kind of cool. Yeah.
Yeah, this so this used to be a like skip track for me, because I think I was like, all right, I got what I wanted. Like, I'm gonna be out the door now. And it wasn't until probably the last year or two that I really started like taking time to listen to it and being like, man, this is really. I feel like this isn't a song that you just put on your like everyday playlist, you know,
Yeah,
going to
for
work
sure.
or whatever. But just like, it made me kind of think of like a movie where you have that big song playing during the credits, like when the finale has just happened. And just like in verse 2, it says, "The house your daddy built is buried under a mall. Our favorite record store is an office. What happened to the places that made us? Did they all get lost in progress?"
Yeah.
And it almost to me felt like this was a mixture of like all of the 5 tracks beforehand, because like I first thought yesterday when I was listening, I was like, man, it's just kind of them just saying like I feel like they've already kind of touched on this thing about like small towns or about like our lives, what does that look like? But I was like, man, like I feel like it could be argued that this almost is a song that sums up like all the stuff that's happening on the record about like, you know, who are me, or at least like the last like maybe like 3 songs or something about it. But yeah, I think it's a really cool way to end it on there. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's kind of jump into our final thoughts. I guess we're going to find out who's the bigger House of Heroes fan as we get into this. So, yeah, I'll go first and put myself out there.
Please do.
Like I said, this was fun for me because I hadn't listened to this in a long time. It's fun for me to revisit, almost like feeling like I'm listening to it for the first time in kind of a way, and loving it. It felt like a throwback to a lot of who they were, with like taking some like leaps forward in some interesting ways that aren't like classic House of Heroes at the same time. And I thought the blend of that worked really well on this EP, just together. And so I really liked that. There's not a song on here that I didn't super enjoy. It worked really, really well for me. And I'm excited I actually added some of these to playlists yesterday because I'm like, I love this song. Why is this not on a playlist? And so that was fun. But yeah, I'm going to give the House of Heroes Smoke EP a 4.65 out of 5.
I like that.
So yeah, it was really 4 2/3, but I didn't exactly know what to do with that.
Yeah, I think this is really special, and I think that the problem with House of Heroes stuff is that it's so like I get the idea of you separate from everyone else and you just say no, this is just their thing. But then even just their stuff, I think to myself like, I don't know. I think for me, and this is going to be a really stupid rule of people listening, but it's like, oh, you can't have everything be 5 stars, you know, in a band's like discography.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of people are out there, like right now, Miranda listening to this is like, no, you can. That's why. Like, so I would
agree with you on that, Brandon.
Yeah, and so I think with this one, it probably fits at like a 4.4, like for me. I feel like it's like nitpicking. It reminds me of like when you have that A+ student and you're like, what? You made a 96 on here? Like go to your room, you know? Because that happens.
Yeah.
It didn't happen to me growing up, but because I made all A's. No. Yeah, I think it's cool, and it's such a cool place just there. And I think sometimes it gets lost because people focus so much on like the end is not the end and Suburba and I think like Colors has a special place because I think like Colors was the only album they set out to like make an actual concept album. Like
Yeah.
Suburba and all was just kind of like, no, we just sat around and we happened to write these or whatever.
Yeah.
So I feel like this kind of gets lost, but I think there's just so many good tracks on this one, and it's just such a cool track. And I think House of Heroes as a whole was just like a really incredible place. And I mean, just I feel like for me as like a person, as a Christian, I was gonna say artist, but I feel like that's the wrong idea. That it's like, I guess just as a creative, like I don't know, just even like writing like scripts for stuff or like filming stuff. Like there's so many times where if I'm writing a script, I go listen to House of Heroes, and it like I feel like it unlocks in my brain like, okay, either that or Me Without You, but weird stuff starts happening. You listen to Me Without You and try to write stuff. But yeah, I just think I'm gonna stop rambling now.
That's cool. Well, it's great to know that we know who the biggest House of Heroes fan is now among the two of us. So
They're gonna listen to this and just someone's gonna be like, "Man, thanks so much, Joel. Here's a free T-shirt."
no, it's fun. It's fun. I love that it's fun. Like I feel like we spend so much time talking about a band that like you're super into or like I'm super into. And it's fun to like dig into something that we both really enjoy and love at the same time. And so I'm definitely looking forward to covering more of their stuff as we get further, for sure. So good times. All right, so let's talk about our lyric of the week.
It's time for the lyric of the It's time.
Our lyric comes from Satisfied, and it goes, "I've come to terms with the man that I made up and the one I really am. I've taken turns on days when I gave up and the ones I took a stand. And I can be satisfied with you in my saddest times, or I can't be satisfied at all."
Yeah, I remember reading that yesterday, and I'm like, oh, that's good. That's so good. Yeah, I love the lyrics on that track a bunch because I feel like that's one of the hardest things to like come to as a person is being satisfied and like who God's made us to be and where we are in our lives, where we struggle so much with discontentment. So, yeah, that's good, man. All right. Well, Brandon, we did it again. And so we're thankful that you guys jumped on board with us. We'd love to hear from you. You can reach out to us at heyyou'relisteningpod@gmail.com. Find us on social media, Facebook, Instagram. And we are excited to have you back listening next week.
Hey, are you listening?